All right, football is officially back, and we are
made
talking college football week 0. It has been the longest year without football of my entire life. We say that every year, but very excited.
Because it gets longer every year.
Every single year it is
It's
worse.
true.
Especially for us because we do love soccer, and there's no World Cup, there's no Euros, and the FIFA Club World Cup was whatever. But it was a drought, man. It was a friggin' drought.
It was really bad. The preseason has been bad. I actually made decent money betting on the preseason, but like it's garbage. It's absolutely garbage. So we are excited to talk about college football today, though. Week 0, we have meaningful games. Depending on your definition of meaningful, we have at least one meaningful game of ranked teams. I like all the other games happening because if it's a regular season game to me, I'm going to watch it and it's meaningful. Which game are you guys most excited for this weekend, Stefan? I'm going to take away the easy answer and say you cannot say Kansas State, Iowa State, because we already said that was the.
After that, it's got to be Fresno State, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a fascinating game. Jalen Daniels still healthy because it's week 0. But and we talked about this in our Big 12 preview. He didn't have a great year last year, even when he was playing, and he played in, I think, 12 games. I don't think he finished them all, but really struggled with that touchdown interception ratio. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. Fresno, I know, Mikey, I believe you had them as a play in our group of 6 or whatever we're calling it. So curious, we'll get to the games later, so I won't ask you now, but I think that's going to be a fascinating game. Lance Leipold remains, to me, like one of the most intelligent coaches in all of college football. Kansas also now back at home, not playing at Arrowhead or the Sporting Kansas City. Weren't they playing at Sporting Kansas City a couple games last year too? So so they actually will have their home field. I'm excited for that, actually. I think to see them in their stadium after the renovations have been done. That'll be cool. So, let's go Kansas. Fresno State is the game I'm most interested in. But I got to be honest with y'all, that Stanford-Hawaii game might just be a real shit show that's worth watching.
I'll be watching it. It's going to be 2 really bad teams playing each other, and I will watch every minute of that game. What about you, Mike? What's your favorite game this weekend that's not Kansas State, Iowa State?
You bastard. I'm going to be boring and say the Fresno State game as well, only because I do like Fresno this year. I think it's an intriguing matchup for them to kick off the season with. I do have a play on them for this show. We'll talk about that here in a bit. But, I worry about Kansas's defense. And so I think this game could be close, maybe if Kansas struggles or if Jalen Daniels comes out and throws 5 picks. I think Kansas already sucked on defense, and they're lost some key players again. So that just opens up another door for Fresno State to keep it close, especially if Jalen Daniels doesn't protect the ball. So, I think it could be fun. I'm obviously excited for Kansas State, Iowa State because of the fact that already has Big 12 implications. That's fun, especially with Kansas State being a favorite. So I want to talk about that game anyways. Get over it. But Fresno State would be my answer there.
We're going to talk plenty about that game. I'm going to take Sam Houston, Western Kentucky, only because I think that's a better game than people think. I think I said on one of the preview shows that I thought Western Kentucky was going to just mop the floor. I don't think that's the case. I actually think this is an entertaining game, and because it's week 0, based on what the teams have lost or not lost in the offseason and new coaches and all that stuff. So we'll talk more about that here in a minute, but I think that's a sneaky that's going to be a sneaky close game and maybe a fun one to watch for everyone. So, all right. Before we dive in to week 0 picks, we did a bunch of preview episodes around all the Power 4, and then we did a G5 episode as well. We gave out some futures picks there. So you should go listen to all of it. Go listen to all those episodes, first of all. But we just wanted to come to you, if this is your first episode, maybe you're watching us live, this is your first episode with us, we want to give you some of our favorite futures picks from those episodes. So we're just going to run through those quickly. If you want the full breakdown of why we're making these, then go to those episodes and check out the whole thing. Right now,
Eric loves to cheat. Eric loves to scroll to go to the end of a YouTube video and screenshot the last slide that shows all the picks. But you can also just run to our website, readybetaction.com. We have our articles up with a lot of these picks. We're still getting a couple of them up as those podcasts release. So yeah, for all of you joining us on RotoViz, of course, welcome. And do check those out because there's some money-making plays in there, I'm sure. But yeah, Eric, he's always talking about I can't listen to a whole hour and a half sometimes, so I just scroll to the end, grab that screen capture, and there we go.
It still gets the counts and the views and everything. But I will start with mine. I'll give you 3 that I laid out for me. So in the Big Ten, I like Nebraska over 7.5. I think we all liked that one. That's probably my favorite one. I am a Colorado fan and hate Nebraska, so it pains me to say it, but go check that out in the Big Ten episode. I will take CU, my Colorado Buffaloes, over 5.5 because I think Colorado's bringing back more talent than people think or giving them credit for in the Big 12 episode. And then go check out the G5 episode. And I am taking Boise to win the Mountain West Conference at minus 150. It's a little juicy, but it feels like free money to me. Mike, what about you?
I am on the Pitt over 6.5. Pitt is going to be really, really good this year and could be a sneaky contender in the ACC. That is probably my favorite play of the pool futures. I'm also on your CU over 5.5 at minus 120. That might be, in my opinion, the easiest one to make of the year. And then I'm also on LSU to make the playoffs at plus 125, which is trendy AF right now. It's also trendy every year for LSU to make the playoffs or something like this. I think I even made this a future play last year. So this year it's going to hit. I'm calling it right now. Plus money. Love it.
Plus money. Love it. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to kind of steal something from what Eric said in our SEC episode. Plus what you just said. That glass of wine looks delicious, by the way. I'm on day 58 without drinking right now, fellas. It's it's a choice. But so
too many days.
I like LSU. I like Texas A&M. I like Alabama. I like Georgia. Instead of trying to guess which teams are going to make it, I'm just going to take, because I think, Eric, you laid out a really good case for this in our SEC episode. I'm just going to take number of SEC teams to make the playoff over 3.5. The juice isn't great. It's minus 180, but I think the SEC gets 4 teams in. I have no clue which ones it's going to be, but Oklahoma all of a sudden is a dark horse for a lot of pundits and analysts. So in case
don't forget about Auburn.
Don't forget about Auburn. We talked about them. We love them this year. I do anyway. I don't remember if all 3 of us did, but so I'm just going to take that one. That 3.5 over just feels good.
I think between the Texas A&M's, Auburn's, I threw out Ole Miss, which y'all didn't like. I don't love Auburn as much as you guys do. However, the point is there's a lot of teams in the mix for that 4th spot.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't eat each other and we're screwed because they all have 4 losses, but we'll see. I'm also with you guys on Nebraska over 7.5. That one's at minus 150. Don't love that. But then I've got 3 that I love that are plus money plays. I've got Pitt over 6.5 wins at plus 140. I still think that number is way wrong. I like Washington over 7.5. They're kind of my dark horse team. We talked about them quite a bit in the Big Ten. I have a sprinkle on them to make the playoff at plus 980. And then, but over 7.5 at plus 110 is great. And then I've got Tulane to make the conference title at plus 140. To me, that one feels like free money, which means they're going to win 0 games this year.
I do like the Tulane one as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the futures I'm sitting on that I like the most. I mean, we obviously have a ton more plays. Do go check out those episodes or the website articles or the social posts, whatever it is. But I like all the ones we have on here. The only one that kind of makes me nervous is just the CU one. And it's just because I'm always a pessimist because that's my alma mater as well. So,
Dude, and go back to the SEC conversation. Go throw some darts on these long shots to make the playoffs because a 4th team has to make the playoff. Auburn's at plus 650. I think South Carolina's at plus 500. It's well worth, a half a unit, a quarter of a unit on a couple of those guys. You're going to cover at some point. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think there is a lot of value to be had on futures. So go check out all the episodes. For all of you listening now, we are now partnering with RotoViz to have our episodes streamed on their site. We're super excited about that. So if you're joining us through that, welcome. We cover a lot of football, sports betting, so it's a little bit different angle than maybe the fantasy football content that you are used to, but we are bringing that action to RotoViz and super excited about it. Let's jump into college football week 0 picks. Let's start with just like the game that everybody wants to start with and y'all want to talk about, and I do too. I was just trying to avoid it so we could save all the good stuff for later, which is Iowa State playing Kansas State in Dublin, Ireland. We're all in the Mountain Time zones, 10 a.m. So it's noon Eastern for anyone kind of looking for the time. It's at noon Eastern. I think in Ireland this is like a 7 p.m. game situation. So really excited to dive into this game. You both have picks on this. I am way too scared to make a pick on this game because I think I would not be surprised if either team wins this game. Mike, why don't you start us off, though?
Yeah, I don't know who wins this game. I like Kansas State to win this game, but everybody is on Kansas State to win this game, so that makes me not like Kansas State to win this game. But I don't know, so I'm going with the under. It's moved up to 50 and a half. I think it started at like 48 and a half. I need to double check that, but somewhere around there. And a lot of that is just because, I mean, they're in London. Like, that's just a long freaking way to travel. That often has slow starts. Yep. Even when you look at the NFL teams, like these overseas games are often kind of boring and finish in like 14-17 fashion. The Iowa State, just can't quite figure out what I really expect from them. Losing Higgins and Noel is just a major blow offensively. They were top 25 in offensive efficiency last year. I don't know how that continues when you lose 2,000-plus yard receivers. Don't get me wrong, I love Rocco Beck, but when you have two studs like that, I think it's hard to come out firing on all cylinders your first game in London. And I think Kansas State, if they get ahead, they're just going to run the ball because that's what they do best. So that's just going to slow the game down. So I really like under 50 and a half now that it's creeped up over 50.
I like that too. I'm leaning if I had leans, I don't have any picks. If I had leans, I am leaning the under, and I am leaning Iowa State to cover, but Kansas State to win. I think this is like a 3-point game. But again, I don't have picks, so I will let Stefan tell us why he thinks Kansas State's going to win by 25. You're laddering this to 25, is that right, Stefan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
No, I'm actually being an extreme coward on this one. This is going to be part of a parlay for me. So I'm actually just taking Kansas State on the money line because the 3 and a hook, 3.5 points is the spread here. So needing Kansas State to win by 4, I don't love that. So I'm going to parlay that with another play that we'll talk about here soon. But I just love this Kansas State coaching staff. I think Kleiman has shown that he knows how to win in the Big 12. They're 18-9 in Big 12 contests since 22. They're the preseason favorite to win the Big 12 at the moment. If you are an SP plus guy like myself, so Bill Connolly puts together his power ratings basically, which are super, super accurate. Like the dude is fantastic at his job. And he has them as one of the top teams in the Big 12 as well. Between his model and some of the other models that I look at, our friend Matt Wispay, who was on our Big 10 show, his model, like they project this out to be like an 8-point. It should be like an 8-point win is what people are expecting for Kansas State, people who do modeling and stuff like that. So I think there's a pretty good edge on Kansas State here. Again, I think Avery Johnson does take a step forward this year, quarterback for Kansas State. I think we can I think we'll see, like Mikey was saying, like I think we see them run the ball a lot, and Dylan Edwards is going to be in a position to shine for that. I don't think he's a type of running back that's going to carry the load, but I do think the touches he get are going to be super valuable, whether it's running or receiving. I mean, we love him as, CU people. Him being there for a minute was super fun. So do enjoy rooting for him. They have a stud tight end that I'm excited to see. He was a top 40 recruit at all positions, and he plays tight end. His name's Lincoln Cure. So you'll want to catch him for sure. I like this Kansas State team an awful lot. Then we look at Iowa State, and I don't hate Iowa State. I just really have a lot of questions about the production that they lost, like what Mikey was saying. I think this is a tough way for them to have to start the season because they don't have as much returning production. They don't have the offensive weapons that they can just rely on. So they might need some time to figure that out. So the under is also an interesting play. I like that. Not doing it. Matt Campbell, also a fantastic coach. I think we have great coaching in this game, which, also might lead to a closer, lower scoring game as well. We'll see what happens. But my favorite play here is to rock with Kansas State on the money line, and that being part of a parlay with it's not spoil. I'm going to spoil it. It's the Sunflower State parlay. We're going Kansas on the money line and Kansas State on the money line.
Yes,
and nothing can go wrong there. The state of Kansas loves me right now.
Nothing could go wrong. I like that. I do like that parlay. I might just join you on that along with my Kansas pick I'll have in a second. I really think that Iowa State's going to look, their strengths are offensive line, returning running back, and their tight ends are like beastly. I don't know what their wide receivers are going to be good or not. However, I think they're going to try to like grind this out and play like when you're playing an offense like Kansas State's, like you try to possess the ball. And if they can successfully do that, this under is a great play, I think. And I think Iowa State can keep it close, but maybe Kansas State just becomes too much for them at some point. So I definitely am staying away from the spread, but I think it's the most exciting game to happen. Let's talk about Kansas and Fresno State. I'll open us up here. Give me Kansas team total over 31.5. That's a big number, but man, I don't think Fresno State has the talent to stop them on defense, if I'm being totally honest. And, this might turn into a little bit of a shootout and stay close-ish. But I think Kansas just wants to – I bring a lot – if you're new here, I bring a lot of non-data-oriented picks, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it, which is – I think Kansas wants to make a statement in a new stadium and Jalen Daniels' final year to come out and just let this offense fly game one. I don't think they're going to be holding back. So I really like Kansas to score over 31.5 points here against an overmatched Fresno State team, maybe a good Fresno State team, but ultimately going to be overmatched in the end. Like even if they keep it close for a little bit, I think Kansas scores a lot of points. So, Mike, you have the other pick on this game, though.
Yeah, I'm going Fresno State. I teased it down, taking it at plus 14.5. Matt Entz just coming in with his debut as the head coach of Fresno State, coming from North Dakota State I guess that was 2 stints ago, but electric offense when he was there. I like him to really do a lot good for this team. Go check out that episode. We won't get too deep into that now, but Fresno State has covered the spread in their last 4 openers, and they were 13-3 against the spread in the first 8 games of the season the last 2 years. That is a very nice stat for a hot start. On top of that, I worry a lot about Kansas's defense. Fresno State is theoretically going to have a stellar run game, and if that is at all successful, it's going to slow the game down like we've already talked about with the Kansas State game. And so I think it's going to take a lot. Even if they put up 30 points, I think the defense is bad enough that, Fresno State scoring 21 points, I think is pretty straightforward there. So I just like Fresno State to keep it relatively close. I don't think they have a chance to win this game, but I think Fresno keeps it closer than a lot expect.
Man, if you think Fresno scores in the 20s and I got them in the 30s, I think I'm going to switch my pick to just the over on this game. It's only 50.5. I think I'm going to switch my pick to over 50.5, and that gives me a little more cushion if Kansas happens to only land in the upper 20s and Fresno lands in the mid 20s and this becomes closer. You've convinced me that I think I'm just going to switch to the game over of 50.5. So I am switching my pick mid episode, which I'm allowed to do. Stefan, any thoughts on this game while I
Yeah, it is part of my parlay. So I love Kansas in this spot just to win. I mean, they're 12.5-point favorites, as Mike was saying. I know you teased it to 14 so that you have that key number there. So I like Kansas to win. I think their defense is a bit troubling, but I think their offense is going to be good enough to overcome that. And I think Fresno State has a lot of questions to answer. I think the running game is going to be stellar, and I do think Jalen Daniels may be a little bit a part of that. But you've got LaShawn Williams, who transferred over from Iowa, who I expect to fill the void left by Devin Neal. Nowhere, in my opinion, not quite as talented as Devin Neal, but he did get close to 1,000 yards like in the past. So it'll be fun to see him. They also return a couple of really stellar offensive linemen, Kansas that is. So excited to see what this offense can do. This is a team that like kind of came out of nowhere when Lance Leipold showed up and was really, really fun, and then had a down season last year. They did end up winning 4 of their last 6 games. I think they continue with that. I think the non-con is a place where they can pick up some key wins. I think I leaned Kansas over on their win totals, and this particular game is one of those reasons why. Yeah. So this is definitely the easier part of the parlay for my to cash at a 12.5 point spread. So I feel pretty confident about it. Again, when we talk about spreads for people who are new to sports betting, like that number 12.5, like Kansas needs to win by 13 plus points for that to hit. So at a money line, I just need them to win. So we're gonna take Kansas to win and Kansas State to win. Take all the math and the numbers out of it, and just and you get that at like minus 101. So it's really close to even money. So you bet $20, you're gonna get like $19.95. So hey,
that's great.
I'll do it.
Awesome. Well, I have our last 2 picks here. We will talk about these 2 games quickly for you. Definitely not as premiere of games for the weekend. I'm going to go back to the game that I think is sneaky good, which is Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. I said this in a preview show, so don't hold it against me that I thought Western Kentucky would blow them out. I do not believe that now. I actually think I'm going to take Sam Houston plus 10. This is upset potential to me. And I'm saying so because of what's returning, and we are in week 0. So that's a big factor for me. Western Kentucky is replacing an offensive and defensive coordinator. 37 players they lost to the portal. They have a new quarterback with our boy Maverick McIver, which might be the best name ever. However, week 0, new coordinators, 37 new players. Is this really going to be the most tuned up like Western Kentucky team that we see all year? We might see great Western Kentucky later, but Sam Houston is actually returning 40% of their offense, which is at least better than what Western Kentucky's returning, including their quarterback and a couple wide receivers. They had here's my concern with Sam Houston, 94th ranked defense in 2024. So
it's a good thing they don't have too many people coming back then.
Yes. So here's my theory. It can't get much worse.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead. A lot of people like the over. I've seen the most popular pick I've seen in this game is over 60.5. And I think that's the reason why, right? Like I like Sam Houston plus 10 against Western Kentucky. That number's too big. I think they lost by like 17 this last year to Kentucky, and the playing field should be a little more level going into this season. Y'all have any thoughts on this one before I give my final pick?
I don't.
How dare you bet against Maverick McIver?
This, if I lose this, mark my words, like clip this, whatever. I will not bet against Maverick McIver the rest of the season if I lose this bet.
I thought that was going to be like a spicier if I lose this situation there. But
I will make every episode from here to the end of the college football season. I will have some kind of pro Maverick McIver pick.
I think you have to bet on Maverick McIver every week if you lose.
I have if I lose this, I have to bet on Maverick McIver every week for the college football season. So,
or he has to be your starting quarterback in DFS every time he's available.
He's the only. That's what I'm saying. Is like he could be a DFS quarterback. I have to bet his yardage, like something. I have to bet for him. All right, let's finish it up with maybe the worst game. Maybe the worst teams. Stanford is traveling to the Big Island. I've seen really just mixed picks on this. I don't know if anyone knows what's going to happen in this game. I'm just going to go ahead and take Hawaii money line here to win. I just think Stanford lost their coach right before their spring game. They literally lost like their entire team to a transfer portal. So brand new coaches in the spring game. Those teams, as a fan of a team who has replaced 2 coaches around spring game time in the last 10 years, Colorado has had terrible timing with this. Your team that following season is the absolute worst. And especially those first few weeks. So that's my only argument. They got to travel to the island, which isn't as far from Palo Alto as maybe other parts of the country. However, that's just a hard place to go. It's historically always a hard place to go. Teams do not play as well as they could, even if they win. So I'm just going to take Hawaii to win. They're 2.5-point favorites. I'm just going to take the -130 and say Hawaii wins this game because Stanford is probably our new worst Power 5 team around. I'm probably missing someone on that, but they might be the worst. So
Purdue, Mississippi State.
Purdue's close.
I mean,
yep. Purdue's close.
I think both of those teams are better than Stanford.
Yep.
Cal might be terrible.
It's going to be bad, but Stanford is right there. All right.
I did the under in this one. I like the under in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the same
Any
reasons,
thoughts on this one? You like the under, Mike? I know you're really excited to watch this game.
I'm just excited to see if Stanford is going to be as bad as we think they're going to be, and I think that's a resounding yes. But no, I'm with you. I lean Hawaii here.
Awesome.
I did like the UNLV at 24. It's now moved closer to 27.
It's the only reason I didn't take it. Yep, it was 26.5 today, and I just said nope.
You know it's week 0 when a UNLV Idaho State line moves a full field goal in 2 days. It's lovely. Love it, man.
So here's a popular pick. I've seen. Just hearing other people's picks. We do all that. We do research. We listen to other people's picks. Probably the most popular pick I've seen for that game is the over. I think 62. And it's because people are saying that UNLV is going to score all of those points, and I just can't get there. I can't bet a team to score 62 points.
It's going to be interesting with Dan Mullen there now.
It is.
With the big roster turnover. I think it could work, but I'll probably bet it. But I'm not making it a show bet.
I'm going to bet something on it. It's week 0. We are betting every game this weekend, but these are our show bets. Speaking of, let's run it down. Before we do, don't forget to check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Download, subscribe, hit all of the good buttons for us. And then we are actually going to run this. Oh, sorry. You'll actually find us out on RotoViz now, too. So if you are heading to the RotoViz site, you like fantasy football information, we really encourage you to go check out RotoViz and subscribe to what they're doing over there. You can check us out there too. So let's run down our picks of the week. I will start. I'm really good at all the buttons here and everything. So just give me 1 second to those of us who are live. All right, give me Kansas and Fresno over 50.5. I'll take Sam Houston plus 10 against Western Kentucky, and I will take Hawaii to win against Stanford. Stefan, what do you have your one pick for us?
Yeah, I've got a parlay for you. We're doing the Sunflower State parlay. We're going Kansas State on the money line and Kansas on the money line, meaning we just need them both to win. We get that at -101. That's my play.
And I'll wrap us up. I'm going to go under 50.5 in the Iowa State versus Kansas State game at -110, and give me Fresno State plus 14.5 at Kansas at -142.
Awesome. That's it. Thank you, everybody. We are excited for football to start. We will be back with NFL in a couple weeks and college football week 1 next week. We also have some soccer picks coming your way, so stay tuned for all of that. We will see you later.